voice, your vision, your views. Views from the Six.
What up, what up, what up, what up? Welcome back to Views from the Six podcast. We are in the building. Welcome to our fourth episode here. My ladies is sitting with me. Say what's up, ladies.
What's up? It's your girl Monty in the building. How y'all doing on this lovely Saturday?
Hey y'all, what it do? It's your girl Kiki.
Hey y'all, it's your girl Jay.
So, I'm your girl DJ Angie Fizzle in the building, as always, repping that EC.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh.
Boom.
And we are here just to have some fun today, y'all.
Yes.
We're just here to kind of kick some knowledge,
go.
share some secrets, maybe spill some tea, do
Talk
what we
about
gotta
our
do,
black-
see what's going on in the world today, man. And you know what? If you can't count, technically it's 5 of us. One is missing today. But this show is called Views from the Six podcast. And that sixth and final member, the most important member, the one that matters the most, the one that got all the juice. That sixth and final cast member is you. That's right. You a part of the show. Whether you like it or not, man, you a part of us.
Yes, you are.
Welcome to the world of Views from the Six. So check this out. We need to hear from you. If you got something to say, you got some feedback for us, you want to be on the show, you want to critique how we doing, you want us to come kick it with you, you want to be on one of our carpool karaoke's or one of the few shenanigans we about to really get into this summer.
Holla at your girls.
Holla at us. Hit us up online. Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. We are at Views Radio Show. You want to email us? We are viewsradioshow@gmail.com. If you want to hit us up, find us online, man. Find us our individual accounts and hit us up. Let us know what's going on. Slide in them DMs and see what's up. Y'all okay with them sliding
Not
in
the
the DMs?
DM.
Be careful.
You said be careful?
Be careful.
Just come correct in the DM.
Okay.
Period. She says
keep
come
it
The
professional.
DMs are open. That's what they said, so hit them up. All right, let's run them hot topics.
Hot topic.
Hot Topics is here. So, if you have been living under a rock, as I always say, or just not been in touch with the news lately, we got some situations going on, people. We got some situations in the form of a reparation.
I like how you did that.
Did you like how I do that? Because I spit them rhymes, though. Because I spit for real. I just, No, but seriously, though. There is a bill called H.R. 40, and it has been, it's been around for a while, actually. It's been around by John Conyers. He is a representative in Congress who introduced this in 1989. And basically, this bill wants to get a committee formed to investigate the act of reparations. Now, if you don't know what
okay.
reparations
Come through, John.
is,
Right.
let's find out what this is. Reparations is basically an acknowledgement of the country of America to say that there has been mistreatment and wrongdoing against African Americans and Africans in general, i.e. the slave trade and slavery and things of that nature. So, if we were, and this is just a rough estimate, I went through Wikipedia. Anybody that went to school know that Wikipedia can't be trusted. However, it's a number. We're going to run with it. If we were to estimate how much the U.S. government, U.S. corporations, and individuals who benefited from the labors of former slaves should pay, and still are, come on with it, benefiting,
Generations,
the amount estimated, can I get a drum roll? Because y'all not going to believe this. These people say they owe us $8 trillion. Run me that check.
Can I get
Run
that?
me the check. Can
We
I
got
get a
some
cashier's
student
check?
loans that need to be paid.
Hey, wait. How about there be a clause in there to forgive those?
Come on.
Come on.
Get that.
Don't take that off my check. Don't
Okay.
take that
Come
off
on.
my
I
hand.
like
They need to
that.
forgive those. Because
Forgive
for a
them.
long time we was denied, we would get killed for reading a book, okay?
Correct. Now, one of the biggest challenges of discussing the issue of reparations is basically America owning its share of wrongdoing. So that
Make it right.
means that what we were founded on, as far as the Constitution and all our founding fathers, we have to label them as wrong.
Wow.
On top of that, over 4 million Africans and their descendants were enslaved in the U.S. from 1619 to 1865. So as a result, the United States blew up.
Okay.
So basically, now they're also going to have to say, y'all owe y'all success, the red, white, and blue, from us. You owe your glow up from us. We are responsible for your status and your clout. Directly, not indirectly, not collaboration, but we made you.
Yeah.
Period. This is it. Period.
I mean, this America was built on the backs of African Americans. I mean, when they during the civilization times, who were they bringing over here to
Labor.
to work? You know,
Yeah.
I mean, it is what it is.
So this commission that's been established is 3 parts. There are some individual representatives, there's a group of representatives, and then there's a collective that all get together and they discuss the commission to study slavery and the subsequent racial and economic discrimination against free slaves. And we are talking about not just during the slavery time, but the devastation thereafter. We're talking about Jim Crow.
Yeah.
We're talking about what's happening now.
Right.
We're talking about the continued effects of you all doing wrong to us back in the 1600s.
And check this out. This is from NBCnews.com.
Come on.
And there's a comment in part of this article stating that the cumulative damages inflicted on Black Americans who were enslaved and their descendants, of course, include slavery, but they also encompass almost 100 years of Jim Crow legal segregation and persistent racism in the post-civil rights era, continuing to the present. The latter is manifest in mass incarceration, police executions of unarmed Blacks, discrimination in employment, and significantly the enormous racial wealth divide between Black and white Americans. So
Big facts.
that's,
Big facts.
that's some good stuff right
So
there.
this bill is House Bill 40, and that is symbolic of the 40 acres and a mule that the U.S. initially promised. Now remember this. They initially promised freed slaves that would be their reward for enduring such hardships. It
Yeah.
has never been paid
Nope.
out. Think about that. It's never been paid out. You gave your word and it never happened. Wake up, y'all. Come on, man. Wake up.
That's something
This
else.
country is not for you surviving and thriving.
Off of
It's
us.
about you being able to endure whatever they hand you.
Yeah.
I was listening to the D.L. Hughley.
I love him.
I
Yeah.
love, man,
Love
what?
him. He
So
got knowledge, man.
he has some
does have
knowledge.
knowledge,
But how
yeah.
about this? There was a comment made that said, I was not here to do any of the things that basically they're I guess it was someone of the white background or something like that. And they said, why do I have to pay up even though I had no parts in this?
But
I had no
if you
parts
think
in
about
this.
the
And
question,
that's
we
what-
wasn't here either.
We wasn't here
but
either.
we still pay the price of
Exactly.
That-
and that's
all those
what
things that
D.L.
happen.
Hughley was saying. He was
Yeah.
like, you, whether it be your mother, your grandmother, you come from someone who was directly, you know what I mean, dealing
Yeah.
with slavery. So, I mean, technically, it's
Yeah,
you know,
right. It's like you can't delete it.
Right.
You can't erase it. It happened, and if you were not there during that time, it still happened. And not just about Angie talking about the 40 acres and a mule thing, the article even talks about that, saying setting the size of the reparations fund can begin with the calculation of today's value of those long ago promised the 40 acres.
Yeah.
The most conservative estimate of the total amount of land that should have been allocated to the 4 million freedmen is 40 million acres. The present value of an
Oh my
overall
gosh.
land grant of that size is approximately 1.5 to 2 trillion.
that's
If
crazy.
there are about 30 million Black Americans who would be eligible for reparations, this minimum or baseline estimate would amount to 40,000 to 60,000 per person.
Okay, but wait. Okay,
That's
listen.
just for the land part.
Okay, but I'm sorry. Y'all know I got something to say about this. Like,
I forgot. he
first
made that
off,
comment.
you said something. Who are eligible? What is the criteria for eligibility?
Right.
What do you think that they would level that to be?
Well,
And then two, you know these ninjas out here will depreciate
She said
and
ninjas.
not really appreciate
right.
this gift. Like Pookie and them gonna tear the club up.
Uh-huh.
And you gonna give Whitey and all his friends right back
It's
the
gonna
money
go
that
back
they
into
gave
the
you.
US
Right
economy.
back into the economy.
It's going to go back into the U.S. economy. A large percentage of it is going to be wasted and not
And
invested.
see, this is my problem though. while we pushing for it, do we really, really know what we about to get into? What we really asking for? Because I got neighbors. I got neighbors. I got two neighbors. One on the side of me is Caucasian. The other is black. My husband has a green thumb, so he's into, real horticultural type of things. He has a forest in my living room. He gets so indignant when he sees the black neighbors put out fake flowers in the front yard. He is upset about it. But my white neighbors over there get on their hands and knees and take care of that lawn like it's nobody's business. And the point I'm making is, when you give somebody something, are they really going to invest in maintaining it, keeping it, and making sure that it prospers? Not just them, but their community as well. I got an issue with that.
Well, I think, if you're eligible, you're eligible. If
you want government assistance?
No, I don't know what the criteria are gonna be. I'm sure it's gonna be something around that type of stuff. But I feel like if you technically eligible, because the people before you could have been great and doing great things, and you could have been that bunch. Yeah. Because once upon a time, like, think about the crack era. You had neighborhoods full of thriving black businesses and black homeowners on whole streets were black families and stuff like that. But
Cleveland. Y'all may
their
not like
children may have squandered it, but it don't take away from what the parents and the grandparents did to make them be able to have it. But if you squander it, you squander it.
I still think we do for this. Just like the comment that he made on this radio show. He said, just because the bill didn't come on time doesn't mean it ain't due. Like,
okay, come on, D.
He was like, Jesus didn't deserve to, you know what I'm saying? He didn't commit none of those sins that he died for. Does that mean, you know what I'm saying? I gotta go check him out.
Right, even for the ones who didn't deserve it. We don't, nobody deserve it, but it's just, I get it.
I agree. It just come back to us all not being worthy, so we can't really be judges.
I like that.
Yeah.
Who gonna do what right? Because, even when you use the example of, it's white people that don't take care of their lawn.
I agree.
So,
I don't take care of my lawn, but if I get some money, if I get that check, I'm going to take care of my lawn.
Listen.
I'm not. I killed the cactus, so.
I don't have the time, but I like being in the yard, but I just don't have the time. But
you know what?
If you run me my check, I will take care of my grass.
Listen, y'all let us know what y'all
when we get that check.
Unbelievable. Let us know what y'all think about this HR 40 commission bill that's currently on the congressional floor. Hit us up. Let us know what you think. Let us know what you would do if you got your reparations. I'm so serious.
What you gonna do with your check, boo?
What you gonna do with your check? Hit us up, man. Tell us. Talk to us. Hit us up. Let us know. And then our last hot topic, I kind of saved the hard one for last. So if you haven't seen, there is a documentary biopic, so to speak, on Netflix, and it's called When They See Us. And this is regarding the Central Park exonerated five. I don't want to just leave it to the Central Park.
I like
five.
that.
I watched it on Oprah Winfrey had a documentary.
You watched it?
She had a follow-up,
It's on
and they refer to them now as the exonerated five, and I love that. So if you haven't been made aware, 1989, there was a young Caucasian woman. She was jogging in Central Park. And she was viciously beaten and raped, and she was in a coma for about 12 days thereafter. She was found and rescued. On that same night, there were a group of young New York kids having fun on their way to whatever teenagers do. And minding their business. And out of that group, there were several young men who were detained and questioned by the police and ultimately charged with crimes as heinous as attempted murder, rape, sodomy, assault. Somebody got kidnapping, I think, some type of brutality charge. And these young boys ranged from 14 to 16.
Wow.
And they were all, despite the lack of physical evidence, charged and convicted with these crimes that held...
Insert jail time.
That held... time served for 5 to...
I want to say it was 14 or 12.
14 years.
Wow.
So the Central Park exonerated 5, They are Kevin Richardson, Antron McCray, Raymond Santana Jr., Corey Wise, who is like broke my heart, and Yusuf Salam. These young men were eventually exonerated solely due to the confession of the actual person who did it. And I won't even mention his name because it's not even worth it. But the fact that our justice system deprived these young men of their future and actually was their strategy to just find a body to convict.
Yes.
It broke our hearts. And I know pretty much this has been a hot topic, but I'd like to talk about the fact that our culture refuses to become educated about this so that we can be proactive in preventing this. So I posted something on Instagram and I was saying how if this was your brother, if this was your dad, if this was your nephew, if this was your baby boy, if this was your husband, you would want people to watch this story to know what to do, what not to do, you know, and kind of be informed as to what the system is for us. And I got a lot of comments, and one of them I won't speak on because I respect her, but she said, I'm not interested because it's something that happened to my family. And I got a lot of people saying, no, I just can't watch it. I'm not watching it. I can't do it.
I was one of those people.
Tell me why.
At first, I just couldn't watch it. Like, it took me, I want to say a whole week before I could turn it on. And when I eventually turned it on, it took me about 4 days to get through it all. Because it really does hit. It's a different type of hurt when you see it displayed. Like facts.
Yeah.
Like facts. This is not a made up story. This is
Real.
facts.
Yeah.
It's real. You know what I mean? So I was one of those people. I'm like, man, I cannot watch this because I know how emotional I get. I have 2 younger brothers, and not only do I, you know, my brothers are very dear to my heart, but I have a host of cousins, uncles, and it's scary. It's so scary. Like, you mean to tell me that this could be my little brother?
And it still happens. It's
Even
just,
like Khalif Browder, is that his name?
Yeah.
It's sickening.
Yeah.
That was a real life story. So it took me a minute, and I kind of wrestled with myself. I'm like, listen, girl, you need to watch this.
I had heard about it, and I gave myself a minute before I did watch it.
Right.
And I don't think I watched it by choice. I think my daughter put it on for my mom to watch, so I just started watching it, but I couldn't just sit and watch it. I had to take a break from it, leave, come back.
Because I wanted to be focused. I wanted to
take some more of it in, and then I had to do it in spurts because it was just like...
It was a lot,
it's so
especially
upsetting.
episode 4.
But see, here's the thing. This wasn't a fake story. This wasn't a
It was real.
made up dramatization. This was real. And there was this there's this Chinese military leader, like this old dude, like back in the 17th century, I think. I don't know. But he had this quote, and this is what made me kind of like fired up about people just refusing to want to watch this or even 16 Shots that's on Showtime. Check that out. That's about the young man in Chicago that got shot 16 times. The policeman got convicted of 16 counts of manslaughter, I think, but he only serving 6.5 years.
Stop it.
Right. So this guy, Sun Tzu, said, if you know the enemy and know yourself, you need not fear the result of 100 battles. If you know yourself, but not the enemy, for every victory you gained, you will also suffer a defeat. But if you know neither the enemy nor yourself, you will succumb in every battle. Knowledge is power.
Sure is.
And the
Knowledge
people are perishing,
is
what the
power
word say,
when we apply
for
it.
lack of knowledge. You have to know your enemy to defeat them. We have
How
to
can you
know.
have strategy?
That's it.
Yeah, if you don't know anything.
If I don't understand the playing field, if I don't understand the battleground, if I don't understand what their strategy and tactics are, how can I defeat them and avoid them? And I think that's what ticked me off, because the state that we're in now, we need every last mama, every last auntie, every last sister, every last grandmother to sit down and watch this and say, okay, so you cannot question a minor without a parental present. I learned that watching the documentary.
Right.
You can't be detained without saying exactly what these charges are. You cannot sit there for so many hours without being able to get a lawyer without being I learned all this through a
so many
movie.
rights.
And for real,
that we
I
don't
thought
even
you
know.
didn't even have to speak, period.
You don't. You have the right to remain.
You have
the
the right to
That's
rights.
one thing my mother did tell me. That's one
You
thing
have
my
the right
mother
to
taught me.
have an attorney
Remain
present from
silent.
day one. Yeah,
You have the right to remain
to
silent.
say anything.
But when you have people who are, because you're supposed to be able to trust the people who are there to protect and serve.
Right. And
So
that ain't
if
the case.
they're playing on your ignorance
When
and
has it- that's
manipulating you,
That's it.
and you kind of just saying whatever they have to say to hear what they want to hear.
And that's exactly what happened with the exonerated 5. They confessed, but it was because they were coerced and they were manipulated into this.
I mean, they absolutely were coerced, but also too, I don't even sometimes when you are educated, it doesn't stop. Because I have experience with that, because I did teach my son that you do not have to speak without I did teach my son that you don't have to speak, without the.
But when the pressure comes.
And that's the thing. Is when they continue to pressure you. They continue. They keep going. They keep going. They keep going. So making you sit there without being able to call your parents or call an attorney all the time while they're constantly talking to you and trying to get you to speak. So it's like it's very hard. They do break you down.
And it's something strategic that they do because they've been trained to do it, and they do it intentionally.
Isn't it crazy how when you guys remember the episode when Corey Wise was on this? He was on the stand and she was like, "Read what you said."
Yeah,
he couldn't
read.
He couldn't even read
So
it.
how can he confess?
His story
How can he
broke
write a
my
confession?
heart.
How could he write a confession?
Right.
And he couldn't.
And that's the
even
thing.
read
There was no DNA evidence.
No.
There was nothing tying them to this crime, but a vicious and vindictive prosecutor. And
they coming after her. That
Oh
make
my
me-
God.
But wait.
she getting backlash, and I said, Lord.
And
She
that's
getting
as
right.
she should.
Yeah.
Come on, kid.
But the
as she
thing is,
should.
she's coming out still firing up that they are not innocent and that she did
And
no
that
wrong.
the actual
But she don't
victim-
want to be wrong. They have
That's what it
to.
is.
She got to stand by her decision, and she got to save face for herself because you have to think of all the other things she has gone on to do after that that
And they
made her
dropping her.
successful.
And they
and
dropping
now
her.
it started turning around to bite her in the butt because on GoodHousekeeping.com, the writer states that when she was writing the script for the series,
Ava
the
DuVernay?
creator, she reached out to the prosecutor, and then she found out that the former prosecutor, she wanted to be a little more involved than she was comfortable with. Like she was kind of being a little too thirsty, and she said Linda Fairstein actually tried to negotiate.
Wow.
Ava told the Daily Beast she tried to negotiate conditions for her to speak with me, including approvals over the script and some other things. And she said, so you know what
That
my answer
privilege.
was to that. She said, apparently we didn't talk.
Bye, Felicia.
Right.
And following the release of the series and the resulting outpouring of anger towards her, Linda has deleted her social media account. She's also resigned from her position on the board of trustees at Vassar College, her alma mater, and her positions on the boards of sex crime victim advocacy groups Safe Horizon and the Joyful Heart Foundation. And she was dropped by her book, both her book publisher and her literary agent. So, I mean, hey.
She literally pushed that on them boys.
Yes, she
But
did.
she's still trying to take that manipulative behavior.
Yeah, she's
even
still trying.
to use it against this.
But she
this
tried it,
lady.
and she get what she
tried
deserved.
to
Period.
finesse her to get her to take certain stuff out her script. Girl, get out of here. She still didn't want the truth to come out.
It's
heartbreaking.
unbelievable that she's not the only one.
She's not.
No,
She is not
she
the
just
only one.
She a piece of a little tiny crumble of the pie.
You think about the policemen and the law officers that were involved in this. You think about the judges who decided to.
Donald Trump, who's supposed to be our
Girl, don't get started on
Using
this
his wealth
man.
and
Well, he ain't my
influence to
president,
throw
but-
shade.
Death penalty on kids?
kids.
On a sixth
Babies.
grader. What was he? 8th, 6th grade? Come on.
What's the youngest was 14?
14.
Yeah.
Like,
Wow.
but what inspires me though is the tenacity of how they persevere in spite of. Corey Wise has touched my heart in such a way
That episode made me cry.
the fact that he can still smile
Yes.
The fact that he's still staying in that city.
and he is still
Crazy.
there.
Yeah.
I I was watching the documentary, and the actor who portrayed him said that when they first met, he went and bought him some tennis shoes. He said, "Come on, Corey Wise about to buy Corey Wise some tennis shoes." Like the fact that he can still be connected to a human heart still. And the one guy, I don't remember his name, but his mom had passed while after he had gotten out of jail, but he's still broken, and he's just like, "I hate my father," the character whose father coerced him into
take the deal.
That was his father passed away.
His father passed away. He was sick,
kidney failure,
and he said, I still hate my dad. I have no forgiveness for him. And he said, my wife tries to tell me to go to counseling. He said, but I just can't. He broke down during the special, and I'm just sitting there like, oh my gosh, this man is still 16, 15, 14.
But he has. I mean, maybe one day he can look at the. His father had to have some level of ignorance to his own rights, and
because he thought he was doing what was best for his kid.
Well, yeah, and then they tried to play the dad like.
Yes, they did.
If you
like your job,
threatening his livelihood in exchange for his son.
But it's funny, we talked about the whole reparations and slavery. Slavery was a mindset too, because it transposes you into an inferior position when you actually stand toe to toe. Like if you think about it, if the slaves knew that they were empowered and strong and able, and and got together and could be unified.
That would have took them down.
They could have took everything down.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. Without losing a sweat.
That's why we unity has to be at its peak.
And they know that was a strategy during the slavery period.
Because they divide and conquer.
If you keep them divided, they will not come together.
But you think about it, that's what they did in this documentary. Remember, the boys didn't meet each other really.
They didn't know.
They didn't even know who each other were.
They was throwing out names of each other. They're telling on each other. They don't even know each other.
And they were formulating scenarios for the boys to agree with.
Yes.
Exactly.
Like, so say,
and they got they're like, so you must be
yeah.
Raymond, and you must be, so and so. And then it's so crazy because
and who was doing what while you was doing this? Like they was just fabricating the whole thing.
Corey wasn't even there.
No.
He just went down with his friend.
Just went down.
But you think about it though, and me and my husband were talking, and we were like, he had it, in my opinion, the hardest.
Yes.
And wasn't even there. And I had to ask God, like, why would you allow this for him?
That's tough.
But you think about it, had it not been for him, they'd all still be non-exonerated. They'd all still be felons. They'd all still be the rapists and the murderers and the woman beaters that they were claimed to be. So without him enduring, they couldn't be released.
Wow.
So I had to think about it like that. Had it not been for him, they would still be cast down. So shout out to the exonerated 5 of Central Park. We love y'all. I don't know if you ever gonna hear this show, but we appreciate you guys.
We would love to have y'all
for telling your story. Come to Cleveland and let us know what's going on, man. You all are a success, and you all are encouragement to us. We love y'all. Stay up.
Yep.
Contact us. Let us know how that documentary, how that show has touched you guys.
Hey, everybody. It's the time for the Viewlander of the day. And, of course, this month is all about dads and shouting out great men. So, my fellow cast members and myself, we all collectively agreed that it would be a wonderful idea to make our Viewlander of the day CKA's own head pastor Monroe P. Johnson, also known as PJ, of course, and my brother from the same mother, Monty. So we shouting you out today. We also want to just celebrate you. It's your 9-month pastoral anniversary. Coming up in December, we'll be celebrating our 10th year. So it's just a beautiful time. Yes, it's a beautiful celebration. Just remembering, how the ministry started, how far it's come, just growing with everybody. We just become like one big family. So it's just like, we just celebrate you, bro. And we just want you to continue doing great things, continue walking in integrity, and continue being a good shepherd over your people. And We just love you.
Amen. In Jesus' name.
We
amen.
appreciate you.
Yes, we do. You put up with a bunch of crazies. Let's just keep it 100.
Yeah.
And you do it with a smile. So praise the Lord for
To
you.
your
and
SSI certified flock.
Listen, praise the Lord for you and your wonderful wife. We appreciate you for taking the time
Flocka,
out.
First Lady of CKA. We love you too, boo.
But putting up with the crazy, you don't have just a regular hospital. You got like a crazy ward. So we thank you for all the inmates and loving us just the same.
In our crazy ward,
Right. Because okay, not gonna do it. So
don't throw us out there like that.
But nevertheless, we shout you out.
Names out there.
We shout you out. We love you. Congrats on your 9th year.
Congrats. Many more to come.
Mwah.
Blessings on top of blessings.
As he always says, blessings.
Blessings. Hashtag blessings.
Hashtag blessings.
Bless life.
We love it.
Bird's eye view.
Hey, it's time for the bird's eye view.
Tweet.
And yes, we are talking about dads, great dads, and great men this month for the month of June. You know, we kind of late for Father's Day, but hey, Father's Day is every day.
Every day.
Just like Mother's Day is every day. It
Shout out
takes
to the real
365 days
Don't
a
get a
year to
break.
be a great dad. And we just wanted to list some important qualities that make dads great. So, I was inspired by a website called momsjunction.com. And there was a great article talking about how to be a good father, qualities and involvement. And it kind of gave an overview that says how important is a father for their kids. Research says a child's well-being, education, behavior, mental strength, all depend on their dad's involvement in their upbringing. And it says when a father is that important in a child's life, it goes without saying that he needs to be good by all the parameters. What are those parameters and what can you do to be a good dad? Mom Junction helps you understand the common characteristics of a good father. And a couple that stood out to me was one, specifically, he is protective. A good dad protects his kids by drawing clear boundaries, considers their best interests, talks to them about things they should be aware of, and puts things in place. He teaches his kids about consequences of making the wrong choices. Fathers instill character development in their children. So I like that one. What you guys think?
I think that's dope. I was, I love Iyanla Vanzant. It's funny that we were highlighting PJ because he's not that much of a fan, but I like her. I like her. Anyway, Iyanla says, and my husband don't either. That's why he's probably about to cut my mic. But
it's okay.
She said one thing that prevents a man from being a good father is he hasn't completed being a boy. Ooh. And I think since we were highlighting fathers as of right now, I think being a good dad allows your children to remain children, not imposing too much upon them at an early age so that they're overly responsible for more than they are built for and ready for. So I think that's a good quality of a dad. Knowing your children, knowing how to, kind of raise them, communicate with them, talk to them.
Interact with them,
Interact with them and be that example that they need. So I think that was pretty dope. Plus, I love Iyanla. I wanted to get that out there.
One thing I think about being a great dad is a dad that knows how to be intimate with his child. Knows how to show love and affection and isn't trying to force this. We're just this unemotional type. You know what I mean?
And you have that because it's a lot. It's kind of like, I don't know if it's just in our community, but you have that where you don't show sensitivity or vulnerability because it's looked at like a weakness. Because I remember my grandfather, he was like a very stout and firm.
Right.
Like you ain't see him hugging on his sons and kissing on his sons and stuff like that.
We need that.
We didn't see that.
We need that. We need for our boys to know how to show love and be affectionate because otherwise they're just gonna grow up and be men that are emotionally unstable
or unattached, and
unattached. That's the word I was
one
looking
of
for.
the quotes that I learned maybe about a month and a half ago. My husband told me this. He said a parent in general raises their children and spoils their grandchildren. Otherwise, if they spoil their children, they'll have to raise their grandchildren. So being attentive, being direct, being available in parenting makes all the difference.
It sure does. What you think, Key?
That's good. I had looked up an article that said the quality of a father can be seen in the goals, dreams, and aspirations he sets not only for himself but for his family.
Setting the standard.
And
Yes,
so
I love that, Key.
I love that. And then he makes all the difference in the child's life. He's the pillar of strength, support, and discipline.
That's
And
good.
so one of the characteristics that I love that they listed, it was resources. I don't remember the article, but it says he allows his kids to make mistakes. A good father realizes that his children are human and that making mistakes is part of growing up.
That's good. Yeah.
Spending money recklessly, getting into minor car accidents, getting drunk and sick for the first time, and even going on dates with questionable people.
You all
These
learn
are,
from
don't
you
get
know,
me started
part
on
of
that last
part of
one.
not being, you know,
Ooh, don't get me
part
started,
of
'cause I got a
allowing your
20-year-old.
child to
I have
make
a
that
20-year-old
mistake.
right now. I
Yes,
got a 20-year-old.
all
Y'all tell
part of letting
Ange
your
to be
child
quiet.
make those
I
mistakes.
love that.
Yeah.
And even outside of being a father, a dope man. Let's just, because before you're a dad, you got to be a man. A real man has to be a parent.
Yeah.
Real man.
And you have to have some of those man-like qualities because, I mean,
Yes.
just even speaking about my brother, he was a teen parent. But you just saw that nurturing and that maturity very young. It was not, it was really surprising to see somebody just jump into those shoes
So naturally.
and feel that role so naturally. And even at by the time my niece was in kindergarten, she went to kindergarten from our house. So that level of trust and respect was there with the parents and the grandparents. That we gonna send her over here with them. It wasn't nobody tripping. Wasn't no games
That
being
whole
played.
village.
So that village aspect, and then he
I
just
think
was
people
responsible.
assume that men or boys need more discipline. They need more role models. I saw something like that on Facebook, an article or something. They really do need more role models. They need people to look up to and model that behavior.
I think the black man of today needs more love than discipline. I think they need to be shown and given the gift of love, because we know what love can do. Real love. Love can cover, love can protect, love can empower. So I think a lot of things, it's unconditional,
real love,
real
not that
love.
superficial love.
Not that
We're talking about that
superficial.
agape thing.
Not that selfish.
And then it
love.
go back to when we talked about it in our episode about self-love. You gotta love yourself before you are truly capable to really effectively love the people around you, and then that trickles down to your community and everything else. So it's like a domino effect.
But that's that self-awareness. Like, I think the qualities of a great man is integrity and maturity.
Yes.
I think these two things can branch off an umbrella into a plethora of qualities that only just begin to complement.
Period.
And only begin to build. But that foundation of integrity and that foundation of being mature and able to evolve and grow and become, kind of comfortable in yourself. I think that's a super dope type of evolution.
Absolutely, without a doubt.
Yeah, and to add to that, the other quality that I picked was he leads by example, because a good father doesn't subscribe to the do as I say, not as I do saying. So he will not smoke if he doesn't want his kids to do it.
Yes, by example.
So
By
that right there.
I think, and I can speak for myself, children will follow your example before they follow your advice.
Yeah.
True story.
Yeah.
They
Period.
will.
True story.
They will. You cannot be out here like, can we just did the do as I say, not as I do type of parenting?
I mean, we speak on that. Pastors say that all the time.
All the time.
Can we did that?
All the time.
Because it is.
It
dead.
doesn't work.
It doesn't.
It doesn't work.
It don't work.
Yeah.
Because you'll have your kids at 12 years old calling you a hypocrite.
Yeah. So I had that situation happen before. My 9-year-old was like, "Ma, you about to flip out at this lady at McDonald's? Like, you gonna do that? And you just taught us in youth church X, Y, Z." And I was like, I sure won't.
You can't even do nothing.
I won't do it.
You
No,
can't
I will
even
not.
say nothing.
So you're exactly right. They're watching. And I think the breakdown between, I know this isn't the topic, but I think the breakdown between this generation and the example and the leadership of the male species is because we no longer trust what we see.
Yeah.
That's true.
And I think that disconnect is causing a lot of the rebellion and the misguiding and just the lack of being aware.
But how do we instill that trust back?
I think, I'm going to be honest, and I know you ladies might not like this, but I saw Yana say it. And actually, Minister Nicole, shout out to Minister Nicole, even though she lives in Detroit now. She sent me this video, and it said that the downfall and the plight of the black man is caused by the black woman.
You know what? That's real life truth.
It is the fault of the black woman for degrading him, for not believing in him, for not speaking power into him.
It's a two-sided coin on
that
that
to
one.
a certain extent.
I think it's a two-sided coin. I think that's two-sided coin. And it's a lot of truth to that because, you know, I've had a conversation several times about how, you know, since the 80s, the divorce rate has like quadrupled. You have, and even just, you have more out of wedlock children. You have more households ran by single women than ever before.
So there's no respect.
You don't know where a man fit in.
Right.
Besides the bedroom, you don't know where else to put him at.
Exactly.
You know, and then if you didn't really see, if you saw, like for myself, my mother and my aunts, they all had their own homes. They worked good jobs. They took care of their kids. Half the time, you never saw a dad anywhere around. You might see a baby come in the house,
right?
But you didn't see a man that much, and it wasn't a man that was like really adding any value to the situation. But you just had, they were so independent. It was like you didn't know what you needed a man for.
Exactly.
See, and now, go ahead, kid, because I got something on that.
What I will say is a post that I put up last week. A man will never grow up if the people around him always justify his behavior.
Ooh,
come on,
and so pretty much
that
I feel like, you know, when it comes from for real, your mother is that first one. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So you can love your child, your son, you know what I'm saying? But you do not have to condone his behaviors. You have to check it.
And that's crazy because I'm gonna say from my personal experience, I've witnessed that. And it bothers me because I've even had this conversation with my ex. Like, you come from a family full of women. Like, you don't feel uncomfortable with how you move. And then I had to think about it. Like, from my observation and my interaction with people, he's never been called out on his mess.
Held accountable.
I'd be like,
ooh, wait.
You know, they
don't get
want
called
somebody
out
real until your real exposes them. You know what I mean? When you be real with them, it exposes, you know, even if it does expose their weakness, but if you love them, you know what I'm saying? You can
like, who sets the standard?
I'm like, exactly.
We should have a separate show for this.
We got to. We're going to have to come back.
Yeah, we
have to come
at the
back.
end
You got to
of the
put
day,
pause on this one.
Yeah.
Real love, and I know this is subject to situation, and I know it's contingent upon, you know, the dynamics of everything. But you know I'm about to come with something. I like controversy, so I like, you know, I would throw it out there.
Stir the pot.
Come on.
At the end of the day, we have these hashtags, no good men, no black men. The black men want the white women. The black men going outside they race.
Whatever.
I might go outside.
I am gonna say this, and tweet me, Facebook me, Instagram me. I ain't scared.
What's
Come
about
with
to
it.
say?
You black women are too proud, too strong, and not submissive enough. Come with it. Come talk about it.
Ouch.
Come say it.
Ouch.
No man, and I had to learn this the hard way. I've been married, don't shoot me, a long time, and I had to learn over the years how to act and live outside of what I was taught. So I went through grief recovery. Shout out to grief recovery. And I was I was made aware in grief recovery that I was functioning in dysfunction, and it was due to the way I was raised. I was raised by strong Black women who ran their households. Yeah. The men, for whatever reason, were not around. You know, infidelity, could be a whatever the case. Yeah. But at the end of the day, I was raised by my mom, and it was me and my girls. And as a woman, as a young girl, you better learn how to do X, Y, and Z on your own. When I got with my husband, it was, no, I got it. No, you ain't got to do that. No, I'll take care of it. And it got to a point where eventually he lost his job early on in our marriage. He lost his job. It was just me working. We had a baby. And so I'm the only breadwinner in our house. You know what my pride did? Get up and find you a job. Go do something. Find you something. I need you to just get a job. This man walked to work. It was maybe 2 miles every day, one way. And we lived off a union.
I'm about to swing on you.
So every day, even though I'm puffed up, this nigga got to get off the couch. My homeboy is walking in the dead of night to get to work, and it was like in danger. But I say all that to say, it was due to my inability to play my role in my position. And I know y'all gonna fight me for it. I don't care. Come get some.
Because I'm guilty.
Talking about you ladies. Come give me some.
We need examples.
An example.
Yeah. We need examples. And these men need examples. Yeah. Because they cannot.
They're a mess too.
They're a mess too. But listen, how do we expect them to properly love us when there was never an example within
but my question is, are you willing to love him to get there?
Yes.
When me and my husband first met, I was the one spiritually into, okay, Lord, it's about you. And he was outside picking up chicks. And now the roles have reversed to where
what?
Yeah, he was.
I'm saying you said the role.
Yes, my husband supersedes me in the matters of spiritual.
Right.
You made it sound not that I don't pick up chicks. Wait a
lady in the night.
Who is it? Like Hosea.
On 131st.
Y'all not gonna call me. What you not gonna do? Okay.
Oh my God.
No, what I'm saying is, I had to love him through the process of him walking and evolving into his priesthood and his leadership role over our home. And for the longest, as a strong Black woman, I didn't want to give him that position because that meant I had to step down.
Right.
But it took nothing away from me. But it was a knowledge that I had to acquire that, ladies, being submissive to your man or being submissive to the man in your home doesn't make you weak.
No, it sure doesn't.
But it's necessary for
But they got to be in order, too. You can't.
And that's what I was just going to say.
You can't be submissive to somebody that's going to lead you into a ditch.
But what I'm saying is, why you with him if he leading you to a ditch?
But then, too, another characteristic, I'm going to take it back because I had to finish my third one because I really wanted to say that he has to be supportive and loyal. And that does start, too. Even as women, even if you're a single mom, you know, raising a son, you know what I'm saying? That characteristic of being supportive and being loyal and sacrifice is definitely important. You gotta have it. You gotta have it. You gotta have
and
it
that,
to survive.
To piggyback on that, one of the ones that I selected, a good father provides the necessities of life. As the head of the family, the father is responsible for giving a decent living for his children.
Is he though?
Be it a home, education, love, security, and attention. I think he's responsible for maybe setting the tone for it, not necessarily carrying it all.
Yeah, because I'm not with
I believe in like
he better make more money than me. Like you see these posts out here.
Because that's not realistic.
It doesn't have to be like
because
that.
the way society is driven anyway, you got most women the breadwinners anyway.
Right.
Because the way society have it set up for a lot of these men not to even be able to succeed.
Yeah,
right.
So, I mean, if everybody brings something to the table, we good.
A lot of these
could you date somebody that make $15,000-$20,000 less than you?
Yeah.
At least he getting some, because a lot of these men don't even want to go to work.
I agree.
They don't want to go to work.
Some of them just want to drop you off at work and ride around in your car. Jody.
No, Jody.
What was your other point? Because you had something. I think you about to get in something juicy. Come on with it.
Unless you're going to a job interview, Jody.
Okay, no, we're going to start with all the Jodys. We love you, Jody. If you're listening, we love you.
He don't love me no more.
With the ugly face.
I wish you could see his face. I can't see. Come on, don't you got another one?
I cannot. Jody phase.
Yeah.
Everybody.
Yeah, I done had the Jody phase.
No, the third one, the fourth one that I had was that he teaches his children to appreciate things. So
That's good.
Yeah.
That's phenomenal.
yeah, a good father
Appreciate
never.
the woman that's in your life. Appreciate.
Jesus.
And on that note, a great
That wasn't
dad,
what I was gonna say.
Uplifting the
a
man.
great dad respects the mother of his children.
Okay, but wait.
I'll save the best for last.
Trying to stay away from this topic.
Because listen,
You trying to say
Monty
it
did it. Monty did this because
Save
she
the best.
know. I got to
Controversy.
listen. Because let me just say this.
No.
Some of you nothing chicks out here make it hard. Yes, I said it because some of y'all on trash. Like let's
They
be
do
honest.
be on trash.
Yeah,
Some of
you
you
got some
all
messy
are
Mandy's,
not
yeah, you got
happy
some
with
messy
your life, so
Mandy's.
you want to make his
Can we all go
a
to therapy?
nightmare.
Can we all go to
Girl,
therapy?
that's in my grief recovery. I talked about that too. I charted it.
Can
Like,
we
I had to.
all
I mean,
go to
we have
therapy?
there's an exception to the rule, with the exception of messy Mandy's. Okay,
Come on.
But
Yes.
children
There's
do
some messy
well
Michaels, too.
when they
There are
see
some
their
messy
parents
Michaels.
working together. A good father teaches his children how to respect their mother, and this he does by respecting his partner. He honors her views and does not argue with her in front of the kids. This sends the right message to the children that their parents work together and they need to respect them both equally.
She ain't right. Get on her.
That's real.
Get on her,
Because
Keith.
No, that's real.
That is so ideal, and that has never happened in my life. I mean, if anybody knows me, you know it has been a hard road. Blended families are tough.
They are.
Kid gave me the cut it sound,
They
but
are
we gonna
very
keep it real.
tough.
Blended families are tough, and I honestly believe that
And it's more prevalent too.
Men are at a disadvantage with trying to balance households, basically, because you're juggling families. You're juggling
And
two
it all-
lifestyles. You're juggling
Yep.
two scenarios.
pressure.
And you're the
That's
common.
extra
You're
pressure.
the common.
Yeah, you're the link.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I can appreciate the hardship that it takes for a man who separates from one situation and acquires another. It sounds like a business deal. But
Can we get some Russell Wilson?
no, I don't want Russell Wilson. I want what God tailored for me.
But I'm
Like,
saying he's setting a good example. Can we
he is
get
setting a
him
good
that?
example.
Oh,
he
he
is
is.
setting a good
He
example.
is.
Yes, he
I
is.
do.
And they need them examples. Don't be
I do.
hating.
I honestly believe that God's gonna do it. That's all I got to do.
God's gonna do it.
God's gonna do it.
God is gonna do it.
That's right.
So shout out to all the good guys out there, man. We know
There
it
are
ain't
some
easy.
good guys. Can we shout out a couple?
Yes.
Can
Who
we
you
shout
got?
out a
Who you got?
Listen.
Okay,
I got
okay, who you
a
got?
family full. I'm gonna give y'all. Okay, can I shout out to Julian Drish, Tyran Goings? Can I shout out Stuart Goings? Can I shout out Tyree Goings? Tyron. Listen, my auntie.
You don't know no other good man inside your bloodline?
My bloodline. Monroe Johnson.
You don't know nobody. We already did that
shouted
one.
him
We
out.
already
We
took that.
already shouted him
You
out.
can never have too many
Russell
shout-outs.
Wilson.
Okay, wait a minute. I'm talking about people you know. Okay, what?
I know him.
Cut the mic.
I know him. Listen, I was shout. Why can't I shout out my family? I don't know him.
Call him right now.
Listen.
Bring them on views from the stage.
Listen.
Russell.
Please.
And he coming with Sierra. Okay.
Hey.
Listen, I just wanted to shout out my cousins because they are the truth. And my uncles.
That's
Listen,
awesome,
they the
though.
truth. Why can't I just have my little
That's
moment
right.
to
Puff
shout
your
out?
chest out.
Yes,
like
all
your
the
family.
Drish men, all the Goings men, all the hood
I'm glad you ain't named them by
men.
name because there's a lot of them jokes.
It's a lie. It's like
y'all.
We be
Listen,
here till
listen,
Monday.
listen. My grandmother Joanne Drish, there's 39 grandkids.
She's super dope, by the way. She used to babysit me, so she's a
There
super dope
is
lady.
39 grandkids and there is 26 great grands. So
awesome.
listen,
That's
the-
lineage. Come on
Oh
with
my
it.
God,
That's
I
a
love it.
tree.
Oh my God.
That's a real
That's
tree
a real
right
tree.
there.
I just want to shout out to all my hood men, all my Stennis men, all my Drish men, all my Goins men. We love y'all. And y'all,
Yeah, we love y'all.
We love y'all.
thank you. I had
20th
to give them
time. We
that
showed
big,
up.
big time. They
Anybody else
deserve
got
it.
some shout out?
I'm gonna shout out my daddy today.
Yes, oh
to shout my daddy
Shout
out.
out to the late Monroe Price Johnson Jr.
Okay.
Was the oldest
Shout
of
out to
6
you.
children. Was one of the favorite uncles out of his nieces and nephews, and was a great example to me and my brothers. You know, him and my mom, they separated, but they did great at co-parenting, so they
Amen.
were a
'Cause
great
your mom was a
example of
fox.
that.
And we just say Mama T was a snack, a whole snack. Sheesh.
And she is a firecracker too.
Yes,
Firecracker snack like a flaming hot Cheeto in your mouth.
Yes, she is.
Okay.
You know what? I want to shout out some people we all know. I want to shout out the deacons of CKA. Deacon Sam, Deacon John.
Yes.
I want to
Deacon
shout out
Rodney in the
Deacon
house.
Rodney, Deacon Bruh. I want to shout out every last deacon of the church because them is some dope men. Deacon Kenny.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just, it's so many. And you don't get to see a collective of men who have maturity, who have stature, who have godly faith, who walk by the Spirit, who are disciplined, who are honorable, they have integrity, and they are generous and kind, and they are servants. Every last one of them is servants to their core. Like, and to see them from when they first got to the church to now, like, this is what God called men to look like and to be like. And it's an honor to just watch them every week. Just be a blessing and be themselves. Be their authentic self. They don't try to be like Pastor Johnson. They don't try to be like other people that they emulate or look up to. Like Mr. Paul, First Lady's father.
Mr. Paul.
That is my guy. I tried to get my husband to adopt him as a daddy. Because that man has wisdom. He's got that peculiar.
He's so
presence,
humble with it,
and he's got wisdom beyond
I would say
measure.
him and
I feel Mr.
Elder
Paul's
Richard.
Spirit.
Yes,
them the church. Them are
Bryant.
church pawpaws.
I love
church pawpaws.
them.
My dad is in the
them.
church, so shout them out. Get well soon.
Absolutely, we love you, Elder Bryant.
Elder Bryant.
I'm gonna shout out another pastor, Pastor Judah Early.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
He's my age, and he's out here shutting things down for the kingdom. And
absolutely.
I just,
Can we do
I
it for the
appreciate him
culture?
because personally, he's invested things into my family and poured things into my family that are just, they're priceless.
Right.
He don't owe me. He don't have to do that. You know what I mean? Him and his wife. And it's just like, you have to honor these people while they're
honor
here.
those people who don't owe you nothing, but do it because they love you.
But do it just
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And honestly, for the people, I'm going to throw it out there, that ain't about nothing. And the men that's on trash,
Get your life.
just know, okay? I got a shade.
Hashtag get your life.
Just know God is watching. And we going to pray and love on you. Let the Lord do what he needs to do.
Please,
you like I sang with
Jesus.
it? You like I sang with it?
Please,
No, but you know what? There's
Jesus.
redemption for everybody.
There is.
Even if
That's grace.
it's by your own will that you out here wilding, or, you just have a lack of knowledge. There's a transition and a Damascus road for everybody.
And then, in some cases, it ain't for everybody, and God will raise somebody else up.
True story.
Okay.
True. Come on.
True story.
Come on.
That is 100. So I'm going to shout out my daddy.
Come on, Mr. Hughes.
Yeah.
Come on, Mr. Hughes.
So I'm going to shout out Mr. Hughes Dickerson.
Hughes might be pulling up in the driveway.
Listen, okay?
Hughes be
got
everywhere.
everybody
And you
GPS.
don't even know he there.
Understand,
He was
'cause-
one time, kid was on the altar praying. And he just
I
sitting
just
right
felt
behind
these fingers
her.
on my shoulder like,
Stop it, kid.
like who's
He slid in the door.
Yeah, the fingers was just
He
too
felt
much.
it. The
I was
Lord
like,
told him. The Lord told him get here, and he did it. Shout out to you.
yes, I shout out my daddy because
Yes.
he hasn't walked a perfect line, but he is now a deacon elect at his church.
Okay.
Yes.
And
Come on with
my
it.
father is still here, 70 years old.
Looking
and he's
good,
taking
though.
care of his mother. He looked good.
Looking good.
And he always made sure that he was there for me no matter what. And so supportive.
Absolutely.
That
Stand
man
up.
would get up at 5 a.m. and come cut my lawn.
Okay.
And cut his mama's
With a
lawn.
real dad.
With the real
stand
dad.
up.
His
Come on.
lawn, and make sure everything is good. So
Come on, stand
Come
up.
on. She makes me
Deacon
think about
Yule.
my granddaddy. My grandma still got her daddy. I think that is
Really?
so amazing.
That's
My grandma still got, and he'll tell you he's a pimp.
He's a pimp.
Yeah.
That's the one in Vegas.
Yes.
Okay. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Mr.
Yeah, he
Robert
still got the
Hood
gator shoes.
himself.
Yeah, he got the
Okay,
gator
then.
shoes, so it's
Yeah.
official.
He's official.
He is official.
Shout out to those dads.
Yeah.
We love y'all. We
My
appreciate it.
daddy is official. I want to shout out Donald Joseph Butler.
Oh, look at how she
Because-
smiles. I like that.
Me and my dad, we didn't have growing up the best relationship.
Right.
Honestly, I was a product of a blended family, and when he got married, I saw a picture. I was in the wedding with my face toe up, tongue sticking out, arms crossed. I was ticked off. So I was a problematic child. But my dad, he didn't let that deter him from doing the best he could.
Right.
And even now, my dad is just, he shows up to my son's games. He texts me. He texts now. Cracks me up. I get a text message from this old 70, almost 77-year-old. Wow. And he calls me by my middle name. He's like, "Hi, Camille. What are you doing?" Like, what? That's my cute. So shout out to my daddy. I love you beyond life. And honestly, I just appreciate everything he endured. My mom was a firecracker. You know, and as you get older, you start learning things. Oh, yeah. You start, you know. So, my husband over there talking. But shout out to
your husband.
Shout out to him, too.
No. Don't make her shout me out.
Shout out to my boo-boo. Oh, my boo thing.
I'll record this damn radio show.
Shout out to our producer who put that with us. But man, we love you, funny. Men, white, black, Chinese, Hawaiian.
We love you.
Greek, Russian. We love y'all, man. Yeah. Stand up for y'all community. We applaud you guys. Views from the 6 got your back. At the end of the day, we see y'all out here. You got some men that you want to shout out? Send it to us. Let us know.
And men, if you want to shout yourself out,
come on.
We want to put a spotlight on you. We want to honor you.
That's right.
Yes.
Put a post. Put a picture of you and your kids.
Yes.
Doing daddy time and daddy.
Period.
Post y'all activities and put some pointers up. You know, share your knowledge and share your tricks and tips with some challenged fathers who may need some assistance in some areas.
Right. Yeah. Sometimes it take a real man to come and grab his brother and like, listen, I see you struggling. I may have not been there or I may have been there, but I want to show you what you could be.
Yep.
Diagnosed by
shout out to Brother Clint from the church. I love him. I just want to shout out. That's my dude, man.
That's my dude.
He got a jig that ain't matched.
I'm saying.
He got a praise and worship jig that ain't matched.
He'll get down on that altar without no shame. And that's what I love about him. He don't care. He don't care.
In the 3-piece.
Yup.
You better come with it. Did you see that all white he had on like 3 weeks ago?
I did.
Yeah,
that brother was clean.
Clean and the boy.
Don't talk about Brother Clint.
His casket shot.
Always got the knowledge.
Wait, he gonna tell you the truth though.
Yes, he is.
He gonna tell you what it is, what it was, and what it's been.
Like.
Okay.
He gonna make sure you know what he's saying.
Make sure
you gonna know what he's saying because he'll repeat it.
You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? All day. So hit us up. Let us know what y'all feel about your great men in your life. We can talk all day about dope men. So let us know, man. This ain't got to end. Hit us up. Let us know. Talk to us. Shout us out. And let's get it.
Your voice. Your vision. Your views.